Hi everybody, it's Oksana, and today I thought that I would share with you my eyeshadow collection, not swatches of everything, but just mostly kind of how I store everything and the brands that I have. So pretty much all of the eyeshadows that I own either came pressed or I have pressed them, and I store them in magnetic palettes. I really enjoy having a clear window, so I tend to get palettes like that, like the Z palette or this palette from TKB Trading, and I'll talk a little bit about the palettes. But the only other eyeshadows that I own are the ColourPop ones. I cannot put them in these sort of palettes because they'll dry up. They have to come in their own little pot. But other than those, these are all of my eyeshadows. So this is what a palette from TKB Trading looks like. You get two of them for $24. It is very similar to the Z palette. It's got the magnet, and tin pans will stick to it. If you have aluminum pans, you're going to need the little metal thingy to stick on the back of them, so it'll stick to the magnet. I know the Z palettes come with those little metallic pieces, but the TKB ones do not. You can probably find them somewhere, and I've also heard people taking those $1 e.l.f. palettes apart, and they have like a thin metal sheet, and just cutting a piece out of that and gluing it on the back of an aluminum pan to make it, you know, stick to the magnet. But these are all the eyeshadows that I have made myself and pressed, so just mixed pigments together. I have a video that I will link below if you're interested, how to make your own eyeshadows, as well as how to press them. So I keep them separately in here just because if I do videos or tutorials or something, I try to use things that people can actually buy from companies rather than homemade stuff. And also this palette you can decorate, as you can see all these stickers. You get two of these palettes and a bunch of sheets of stickers. It depends on which options you choose, which stickers you get. You can also buy them separately, or you can just buy them at like AC Moore or Michael's. They're just kind of crafty type stickers. And this is the black non-glitter palette. They also have a glittery black and a glittery gold, which I do own the glittery gold since these come in a set of two. I initially was using it, but then it just made more sense for me to have less palettes. So I kind of downsized, and I'm using these other ones that I'll show you next. But the glittery ones are not the kind of glitter that rubs off or comes off. It's like in the paper, so you don't have to worry about it, you know, getting everywhere, which I hate things like that where glitter gets everywhere. So this is the first type of palette, and this is the first little set of eyeshadows that I have. And so the next two palettes that I have are these extra large Z palettes, and you can tell they're really, really huge. Here is the TKB one, so, you know, by comparison, it's a lot much bigger. And I initially owned one of these, and then I decided to go ahead and get the second one just because it makes a lot more sense for me to kind of have less palettes. I don't like having a ton of them because then I run out of storage for them and it just gets cluttered, and then there's some that I have to kind of shove in the back and never use. So the less the better, and these are the largest, you know, that you can get are these extra large ones, and they store quite a bit of eyeshadows. So these are the 15mm little round pans from TKB Trading. I try to press most of my eyeshadows in these teeny tiny little pans just because I like to have a variety of colors. I don't really use any of them up because I have so many, and it's just easier to have them be smaller because then you can fit more. And then I do have some larger ones, things that are favorites or are maybe discontinued, something like that, where I just want to save every last little bit of it. I did press in larger sizes. Most of these are from Silk Naturals. There's also just a few in here from Scaredy Cat, just like a couple. I think this one is. And then there are some from the All Natural Face down here as well. So that is this palette here. And then my last palette, which is another extra large Z palette, contains kind of ones that I use the most. And it's funny because I used to be all into funky, colorful looks, and recently I've been really into neutrals. So this is something that I'm just going to rearrange as my tastes change. So if I'm feeling colorful for a while, I'll throw in some brighter colors in here, but there's also room for more. Like, I know Makeup Geek is coming out with more of these foiled eyeshadows, so there's room in there for me to get some more of those. But these are the Makeup Geek foiled eyeshadows. This is a matte eyeshadow called Kismet from Honeybee Gardens. It came in a little palette, and I just took it out of the palette and put it in here because I really liked it. This is just a matte that I need to repress. This is an eyebrow color actually from Silk Naturals, but it just happens to be in a round pan. I haven't repressed it yet in a rectangular pan, so it's just easier to have it here. It does kind of bother me that they're all different kind of shapes and sizes, but what are you going to do? So these are all of my Silk Naturals. I think that this one is from the All Natural Face. That one's Black Forest, but these are all my matte ones. Most of them are from Silk Naturals, including this one here, this tiny one here. And I was able to press those with a Silk Naturals pressing medium, which works very well in the matte eyeshadows. But shimmery eyeshadows I have been pressing for a long time with fractionated coconut oil, which works really well, but it doesn't work so well on the mattes. And I will leave my video on pressing mattes as well with the Silk Naturals pressing medium, because it's a little different than using the fractionated coconut oil. So these are just all colors I've been really into. My favorite one of all time, which is Sonic. It's just so pretty, from Silk Naturals. There's a few from the All Natural Face. These ones here, these are the ice colors, like Lemon Ice and Orange Ice and Pink Ice Storm. I think some of them are Ice Storm for some reason, but they're just very pretty. I love them as highlighter colors. I'm not sure if any of these, I think all of these are Silk Naturals down here, but yeah, these are just kind of the colors that I've been feeling lately, as well as my Makeup Geek eyeshadows. So that's it for my eyeshadow collection. I did recently try to kind of clean it up a little bit and downsize it, and make sure that I have room, you know, like in the one I showed you, for more. And the last thing I want to show you is just an empty little palette. This is a Silk Naturals palette, because this is my travel one. So right now it's empty, but if I were to go somewhere, this is where I would put the eyeshadows that I want to take with me. And it fits a decent amount, you know, enough. Kind of, I'm forced to kind of narrow it down and not go too crazy and not bring too many colors. I will be traveling this summer, so I'll probably record a video on what I'm bringing with me. But what I like about it is it still has a little peekaboo window. It's really affordable. I think it's like $9, but I forget exactly. Could be less. I really don't remember, but it's not as nearly as much as the other ones, or as the Z palettes, that's for sure. And another great thing about it is that it's metal. So when you're traveling, I mean, these are pretty sturdy, and they're probably, nothing's going to happen to them, but they are technically cardboard. So, I mean, if you were to drip some water on them and let it sit there for a long time, it'll probably like bubble up the paper. And I mean, things could happen to them technically. And I mean, this isn't waterproof either, but at least the water is not going to ruin the surface. So I like that it's metal and makes it a little bit more sturdy, a little bit more travel friendly. And this is a great palette. It's like the perfect size too. It's not quite as tiny as the little e.l.f. ones. I was traveling with those before, those dollar ones, and if you just take the dividers out and stick a magnet on the bottom, like this has, then you can kind of make your own palette out of those. But they're much smaller. They're probably like, I don't know, probably like this size, you know. So I usually have to bring 2 of those. So it's nice that I can just bring 1 now. And yeah. So this is great, and that is it. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll try to link all the videos I can think of that are related to this down below. I have a review of these TKB ones I'll link down below. I have a bunch of videos on pressing. I'll link, and making my own eyeshadows as well. I'll link all of those down below, so hopefully that's helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!